Well, this feels absolutely foreign to me. Hello! Oh my god, welcome back to a new vlog. I have not vlogged in weeks and I have not vlogged consistently in months. My vlog camera is actually in Dublin. That's not going to stop me. It is the 1st of October. It is a new month and this month is about to be a very exciting one. I have a very big feeling. So we're gonna vlog it. We're gonna vlog this month. We're gonna vlog consistently every single day. Weekly vlogs are back and we're gonna start with a little daily vlog. A little day in the life, moment in the life update, just to get me back on, because today's the 1st of October, so I'm not only vlogging this in real time, but I'm planning on posting this today, and I actually just thought of doing that as well, so bear with me. But yeah, I'm out on a walk. It is blue sky, sunshine. It is 18 degrees. It is beautiful, stunning, amazing. And I am so ready for a new month. Sorry, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I have so many life updates. And I kind of just want to talk about how I was feeling a lot of this summer. I think a lot of people are going to relate that this summer was not hot girl summering the way a hot girl summer should. I also got demonetized on YouTube, so we need to talk about that. I don't know why YouTube hates me. Very rude, very inconvenient, especially because this summer was like the summer where I started like earning way more on YouTube than I ever have, so that's annoying, but it's fine. So I started my day with a walk and I went to get my Cicaplast Bambi 5 because I'm out of it, and I went to do a little grocery shop for my mom because I am daughter of the year. I'm just going to walk backwards for a second because the lighting's so much better. Basically the vibe of today's vlog is like I want to show you my rituals for the 1st of the month to like set myself up for a really good month, like what I do, affirmations, little things like that, and just to set the tone for a really fucking good October. So if you want a really good October, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. So I just took off my shoes and my socks and I am grounding my energy, because one thing about me is on the 1st of the month, I think it's so important to ground your energy with the earth, especially as an earth sign as well, as I've already said. I just like putting my feet in the grass. I don't know, I just feel like when I close my eyes, like obviously when I'm not vlogging, I'm just vlogging now to tell you, but like basically I just stand in the grass, I close my eyes and I visualize all of the energy that I don't want, like sending it back into the earth, and then also the earth like giving me all the energy to like achieve whatever it is that I want to do this month. Because what I want to do this month is, number one, so exciting for me, but actually it's very exciting for you as well. It's exciting for us, it's exciting for the channel, and that's all I'm gonna say. No, I'm gonna update you more when I'm getting ready, but I'm just waiting for the Canna Monster to get cold, so I'm gonna do this. And like the sun is right here, and obviously it's like the evening sun, so you can like close your eyes and the sun's shining on you, and you're standing in the earth, and it just feels so good. I feel like we're like besties just about to have a catch up. Like I hope you're ready to just sit back, relax, grab your snacks, grab a Canna Monster, grab a Coke Zero, popcorn, Sprite, whatever. I don't know why I feel so awkward. It's not that I feel awkward, I'm just like not used to vlogging, because what I have been doing the last month is very much so going live on TikTok, which is kind of similar to what I'm doing now, except people can comment. So with my skincare, I went to town today and restocked on my like absolute favorite Cicaplast Balm B5 Plus. So I know it's like the middle of the day, it's like 4 p.m. and I'm doing my skincare, but that's because when I woke up today I went straight for the walk and I've just been kind of dilly-dallying since then. So I actually didn't do any morning skincare, I just put on some SPF this morning. I'm using this Ordinary Multi-Peptide HA serum. It's like hyaluronic acid. The Ordinary sent me out like a big package recently, so I have quite a few products from The Ordinary that I've been trying. Also, I think this is either a spot or a bite. I'm unsure. I feel like it's kind of like, where do we start? Where do we begin? Like, starting from the top. Like, when's the last time I saw you? Like, what was the last vlog I posted? I actually don't know. But yeah, so where are we in my life right now? So I just want to discuss the summer. So this summer was not hot girl summering. Did I have a good summer? Yes. Were there good moments? Absolutely. Of course there were good moments in my summer. My brother was home from Australia with his girlfriend. My other brother moved to Australia. There were so many good moments. I had friends around, I had family around. There were like little celebrations that I really enjoyed, like birthdays and my friends being home and my cousins being around and like all that stuff. And of course there were moments that were great, but like as a whole I was not the happiest girly. And when I fast forward to 2 weeks ago, maybe, yeah, 2 weeks ago now. So 2 weeks ago, I came home from being in Dublin for about a week. I was away for about a week and I came home and everything just hit me all at once. And I felt so sad. That's the only way I can explain how I was feeling. Like, I just felt so sad. I was just crying. I was so emotional. And I didn't really know at the time like where all these emotions were coming from. I literally got my period early, which I think when you get your period early it kind of like throws off your hormones a bit, but I got my period early. I spent 2 days in bed just crying. Like, I just kept crying. And it wasn't like, do you know the way there's like different levels of crying? There's like the heartbreak cry where you like bawl crying to the point you give yourself a headache. It wasn't that. I wasn't heartbroken. Like, it had nothing to do with anyone else but me. And so it wasn't heartbreak crying, it was just like intermittent tears for days on end, like days. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I literally was texting my friends being like, I don't know what has came up, because I'm not a crier. Like, in the friendship group, I'd say my friends have seen me cry, like they could probably count on one hand the amount of times they've seen me cry, and like more often than not heartbreak is kind of the only times they've like really seen me cry. Because I don't know, my brain must do something where it's like it's okay to cry when it's not about you. I don't know. So either way, so I was just crying for like days on end. Like, I'm not even joking, days and days and days on end I was crying. And while I was kind of going through that, I gave myself the grace and I gave myself the time to like really go inwards. And I was like journaling and I was reading and I was like, okay, Rebecca, like what's coming up here? Because there was like more a surface level reason that I could have said I was crying about, but I was like, it's not that. I know it's not that. So I like kept asking myself in my journal like different questions and different prompts, and I just kept being like, but why, but why, but why? And like a therapist would. Do you know what I mean? Like, and how does that make you feel? So I kept like going deeper and deeper and deeper with myself throughout the few days. And basically what I discovered was, and this is me being vulnerable with you right now, but basically what I discovered was there's been so many changes in my life over the past few months, and I think over the past few years, and even with the new phenomenon that a lot of women my age are allegedly going through, the pandemic skip. I'll talk about more about that in a minute, but I just feel like there's been so many changes and so many things. Like, my dog died over the summer, which like is such a big thing. Like, it's your dog, it's your family dog that I've had for like 13 years. See, I'm even getting, honestly, since that week that I started crying, I cry at the drop of a hat now. I say something slightly emotional and I cry. It's so insane. I've never felt like this before in my life. Anyway, my dog died during the summer. Lexi, you'll have all seen her on the channel multiple times, and she passed away. She just got really ill one week, and then the next week, like, it wasn't like she was sick for ages, she didn't have anything wrong. Like, one week she was perfect and then the next week she was gone. Oh, I was not expecting to cry in this video. Do you know what? I'm just gonna embrace the tears, because I feel like emotion, what is it, like crying is like
releasing, like you're releasing their emotions, you're letting them out, you're not keeping them in. So obviously that was extremely sad. Oh my god. Okay, let's just take a breath for a second. Oh, let's not cry. Let's not cry. So that happened throughout the summer. Then Ben, my youngest brother, moved to Australia, which, like, we got really close in the last 2 years since I moved home from Marbella, because we have a 7-year age gap, and obviously a 7-year age gap is huge. So we really like got to know each other as like adults, and we're quite similar. We also have, like, he's a Virgo rising Sagittarius moon, and I'm a Virgo moon Sagittarius rising, so we have that like synastry vibe. So we get on really well, and he obviously left to move to Australia, which was another big change. And then obviously, as you all know, I've been talking about moving back to Australia on the channel. I've been talking about moving and all that kind of stuff, like ever since I came home from Marbella in 2021, which was literally 2 years ago now, which is so crazy to think. Ever since I came home, I've been talking about leaving again, because I was supposed to go back to Marbella that January, like January 2022. I was going back to Marbella, and then due to unforeseen circumstances that I don't want to get into, I couldn't go back to Marbella. So then there was that. So then I was like, well, if I can't go back to Marbella, I'm just going to wait till Australia opens. So Australia opened last summer 2022. And then I was kind of like, okay, I'll wait till after Christmas. Like, I'll wait till January. Like, you know, it opened like July. So I was like, I'll wait and I'll go to Australia in January 2023. And then January 2023 came, and I went on like that family holiday to Marbella. So then I was like, okay, I'll wait till before my birthday. Like, my birthday was my benchmark. And I was waiting, and I was like, I'm gonna go before my birthday. And then, I don't know, I started doing a lot of like different energy healing. I was working with an energy healer, and like April just did not feel good to me. It just didn't feel like a good idea. I don't even know how to explain it really, but it didn't feel like a good idea to go back to Australia when I was going back. Part of me wants to do makeup right now, but also I kind of want to leave my skin breathe, so we're just gonna do like eyebrows and lashes while I'm chatting to distract myself. Oh my god, sorry, we need to pause the YouTube video, we need to pause the life update. My favorite eyeshadow palette that I always talk about, the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. It came out as a limited edition palette. He just announced today that it's back on his website. I'll put a link in my description. This is the best eyeshadow palette I've ever used. It's literally my favorite eyeshadow palette in the entire world. I will be buying a backup because he released it last year, limited edition, and it sold out, but now it's back on his website. And I knew it would come back on his website, and it's so good. Anyway, so I don't know, going back to Australia, it's not that it didn't feel good to me. I was just kind of like, I've done my working holiday visa, so I would have to go back on a tourist visa, and then I would have to either do a student visa or a business visa, and like just a lot of visa things and a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm going back to Australia to see if I like it. Like, I remember liking it in 2018, but 2018 me and 2023 me are two very different girlies, number one. And I think the world in 2018 and the world in 2023 are two different worlds. So there was just something about Australia that it wasn't flowing. And you know me, I'm such a big energy girly. Like, if it's not flowing, if it's not working, I try not to like push it or question it and just go with the flow. So it wasn't flowing. And then I was kind of like, okay, well, Ben, my brother, is leaving in June. So I was like, I'm gonna stay around till he goes. Maybe I'll go with him. Maybe I'll go to Thailand on the way. Like, I was planning all these things. And then Ben was going, so he went. And then I was like, well, my Jack's coming home with his girlfriend Jen, so I was like, I'll stay around for that. And I was like, also, it's the summertime, like a lot of my friends will be home, like a lot of people are around, like family, and you know, I was like, okay, I'll wait. I was like, I'll decide after the summer like what I'm doing, where I'm going. So all for the last year I was like putting it off. I was putting off moving, I was putting off making a decision on it, I was putting off like deciding where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do like for myself. I was just putting it off, and there's no, like, it wasn't like I was putting it off for other people or anything like that. I was just putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and being like, okay, when I feel like this and when I do this and when I get this place in my business and when I earn this much money and when my YouTube channel reaches this amount, like earning wise, which is so funny because now it's demonetized. But I just kept putting it off. And I think subconsciously I was just pushing it down because when I went to Australia, it was like last minute. I was like 23, was supposed to be moving to Canada to my ex. That never happened. I don't think I've ever even said that on the internet. That was 2018. That was the plan allegedly for 2018. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move to Canada. We're gonna do this thing because we had been long distance. Next thing, that just wasn't happening anymore. So I was like, fuck it, I'm moving to Australia. So I didn't think about it. I got the visa, I moved to Australia. Then I left Australia, came back to Ireland. Then I was actually planning on going back to Australia. Then pandemic hit. Then I went to Brazil. Then from Brazil we went to Dubai. Then from Dubai I went to Marbella. You know, and I just always was so comfortable making these like crazy last minute decisions. Not even crazy decisions, but just like, I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna make it work. And like, I remember at the time, like so many people being like, how do you have the confidence to just go and just do it? And I was like, life is so short, like why not? But obviously, because I've been at home for the last 2 years and because I'm 29 now, there's a big part of my brain subconsciously that I didn't even realize was doing this. But basically I had like put this standard on myself subconsciously that I didn't even realize that like the next place I move, it has to work because I'm 29 now. So I need to figure it out. And wherever I move next, it needs to be like the place I'm going to like settle, and I need to make like a smart decision, and I can't just move somewhere and hope it'll work, and then what if it doesn't work again, and where am I going to go then? And I was doing all this subconsciously that I didn't know. So I was building up all of these subconscious fears, which is why I kept pushing out making a decision on if I was going to go back to Australia, if I was going to move to Marbella, if I was going to go somewhere else. My brain didn't even see anywhere else, you know. I was like, I'm not going to move to Canada, I'm not going to move to America. So I was like, it's either Australia or Spain, basically. And I had all these realizations. I was so sad. And I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to think about it anymore. If I move somewhere and it doesn't work, that is okay. I can move somewhere else. The world is wide. But the one thing that I know for sure, what I know for sure, is that I am not satisfied or happy with my life living in Ireland right now. And that's a big statement, and I know that's a big statement, but it's 100% true. Of course, there are so many simple pleasures in my life on a day-to-day basis that I enjoy. You know me, I'm a simple gal. I love my little routines. I love self-care. I love going for walks and getting my groceries and going to the gym and making YouTube videos and podcasting. And like, if I had not been in Ireland the last 2 years, there's so many things in my life that would be so different. And like butterfly effect, even so small as like the podcast with Niamh, like Pay Attention, which is doing so well, we're so enjoying. And like my relationship with Niamh, like my friendship with Niamh she wouldn't be in my life, you know. And I feel like as you get older, and especially me, I don't tend to make too many new friends, or I don't tend, you know, I'm a very much so small, I have been previously a keep your circle small kind of girl. I've always been that way. I have like my closest friends, and maybe a few more that have joined along the way, but like when it comes to friendship, it's kind of a touchy subject for me. I feel like this should be a podcast. But anyways, basically, I wouldn't have that friendship with Neve now, which I appreciate so much. And like we were literally talking, I was like, I'm so happy you're in my life. Like it is crazy. So there's so many things I'm so grateful for being here the last 2 years. And I think I was meant to be here for the last 2 years for whatever reason. But now I do feel like something happened in September that I'm not going to talk about yet, but I will talk about in a few months. I don't know when I'm going to talk about it. I'll talk about it when I'm ready. But there's a situation that happened that is very much so, feels like to me like it was divine intervention. And basically that situation was like the catalyst for me having all these realizations about how unhappy I have been living at home, you know, and living in my hometown. My hometown is a small town. There is nothing wrong with it at all. It's a beautiful small town. It's one of the most amazing small towns. But I don't want to live here right now, you know. Will I live here in the future? Who knows? But I crave adventure, and I crave exploring, and I crave being in a place where I'm made to feel uncomfortable and I'm made to explore, and being in a city and it being walkable and all these things. Like that is what my soul craves. And as someone who is a Sagittarius rising, and yes, I do bring everything back to astrology, but as someone who is a Sagittarius rising, it's so imperative for me and my soul to be constantly meeting new people and discovering new places and exploring new cultures and learning new languages and whatever else that entails. Basically, I feel like I haven't been honoring my soul, even though I know my soul was meant to be here for the last 2 years, but I do feel like now it is time to go. But it's so funny because I remember back in February 2022, I had a reading with Christine, she is a psychic medium that I've used multiple times, and I love her, and her energy is just so good. I had a reading with her in July, which was so good. But I remember in February 2022, I was telling her, like, I was like, I'm planning on moving to Australia, like yada yada yada, and she literally verbatim said, she was like, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I remember she said that, and I never even questioned it, but I remember it kind of stuck with me, and I was kind of like, what? Like, I'm planning on going, like, I'm not planning on being here that long. Like, I'm really not planning on being here that long. And here I am, like almost a year and a half later after she told me that. But I do feel like my time in Ireland is coming to an end. I'm not going to say too much because Evil Eye is so real, and I'm going to use a clickbaity thumbnail and title on this video. So a lot of people who are more in their spectator era as opposed to their like engaging era will watch this, and that's fine. If you want to know the tea and if you want to know what's going on with me, that is okay. Would I appreciate if you subscribed, liked and comment and showed support? Of course I would. Anyways, so I'm not going to say what my plan is, but just know that I'm very much so just going for it. Of course I will be vlogging, and you will know when I'm there where I'm planning on going, kind of like what I've done before. But I do kind of want to put the energy out that like basically I've made this decision to make this happen for myself. And instead of being, because it's October now, it's the 1st of October, so I could very much so be like, okay, you know, I'm done living at home, but Christmas is coming, so I'm gonna wait till January, and in January I'm gonna do this. But basically I had this realization. I was like, why am I waiting 3 months? Like, why am I waiting a quarter of a year to do what I know I need to do for myself right now? Like, I'm done waiting. I'm done, you know. And of course that comes with privilege, and of course not everyone can just up and move at a drop of a hat, and I'm not up and moving at a drop in a hat. Like, it's very much so a process, and I'm very much so trying to figure it out. But like, I've also put the accelerators on trying to figure it out, because number one, I'm a manifesting generator. As soon as I want something and want to bring it in, I can bring it in quite quickly. I've done that with everywhere, like Dubai, Australia, wherever. Like, once I've decided, then that's it. It's very much so, okay, let's go. But I'm just like, you don't need to wait anymore. You don't need to think about it. I think I've been thinking about what I want to do too much. So with this thing, I'm just gonna go. I'm throwing all caution to the wind. I am very much so, I picked somewhere. It's somewhere I have not lived before. And I'm very much so of the mindset of, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does work, it does work. But I feel like I've been divinely led to this place, number one. And I feel like if I don't, I will always wonder. And I don't want to be wondering. I don't want to be waiting. I don't want to wait. I feel like I've been floating for the last 6 months, just floating, like not even being cognizant of decisions I'm making or people I'm talking to or situations I was getting myself in. And I was like, what are you doing? Like the last 2 weeks I was like, what are you doing? Like what's the purpose behind this all? Like you haven't been happy, you haven't been posting your YouTube videos, which I think has a direct correlation to my happiness. Like, you know, when I'm posting my YouTube videos, when I'm on top of my shit, that I am in my best like era. You haven't been posting your YouTube videos. Yes, I've been doing the podcast, which thank God for that, because honestly, I think if I hadn't had that Pay Attention podcast and Neve the last 4 months, like God only knows what hole I would have dug myself into. And I didn't feel creative. I didn't feel excited about anything. I didn't have my website up. I didn't work on new merch. I didn't even talk about the Hot Girl Guide to Confidence. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing birth chart readings. Like I wasn't doing anything. I was just floating. And I'm done floating. Like I'm done floating. And I've just made the decision now. And we're just making it happen. And that's my life update. That's kind of what I've been going through. So if you went through it this summer, because I have been talking to quite a few people who were like, no, summer 2023 was not it. Like one person told me, they were like, if I didn't have my books this summer, like it wouldn't have been a good summer. Like so many people just did not have like a good summer. And I think it's so hard with social media because you see everyone posting and their photo dumps and what they're doing, and you know, social media is it's so easy to make your life look good, and it's so easy to make everything look good, and a lot of the times it isn't good, or you don't know what you're doing, or you're floating. So yeah, here's me updating you on my life, calling myself out on my bullshit. October 1st, new month, new me. So basically what I'm doing now is I have my journals over there, and I'm going to set my intentions for the new month. I'm going to write down absolutely everything I want to achieve in detail. I'm going to script as if I already have it. So I'm going to basically say, it is the 1st of November. I'm so grateful for my October. This is what I did. And then I'm going to write about my October as if it already happened in the past tense. I love scripting. And I'm also going to clean my room 100% because the clothes situation, my laundry is just not good right now. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to light my incense. I'm going to edit this YouTube video, get that up, and just start this month on a new slate, because on the 1st of every month I said it the 1st of September, and I do feel like even though September was okay compared to like August, June wasn't too, I think it was July and August really for me were like the two intense ones, and even just the last few months in general. Like I remember April, eclipse season, I was going through it. May I was going through it. Actually, yeah, April and May I was going through it. Then June I kind of felt better, but then July and August I didn't. But on the 1st of all those months, I said this month is going to be the best month of my entire life so far. And even though looking back on those months, they weren't. And sometimes it's like 3 years later, you look back on the worst month of your life and you're like, oh my God, if that teeny little decision that I made in that month didn't happen, then I wouldn't be where I am now. So even the hardest of months still have something in them, that butterfly effect to where you need to go. So claim it in the comments, literally write a comment being like, October 2023 is going to be the best month of my life so far. And you can write down if you're claiming abundance, like whatever you're claiming. I would love if you did that. I think we can really create some energy in the comments. And yeah, that's how I've spent the first day of my month. I've really spent it reflecting. I'm gonna script, I'm gonna write my intentions, I'm gonna clean my room. I went for my walk and I vlogged, which is one thing that I really wanted to do. So I'm gonna edit this now. And yeah, I hope you appreciate me being more vulnerable in this vlog. I don't even know if it was a vlog. It was more a sit down chatty life update video. I'm never really this vulnerable on the internet, and I think I'm trying to be more vulnerable because I think me personally, I'm very much so big on positivity and big on high vibrations and good vibes. So I'm always of the opinion that like if I put out good vibes and high vibrations, people will be attracted to that. But I do think, you know, it's important to share when you do go through it and lessons you do learn. And of course I have boundaries. Like I wasn't gonna pick up my camera like mid-tier session 2 weeks ago, bawling, crying, and like spill my heart out to you. But 2 weeks later, after I've reflected on it, I can share that. And I think it's good to share when things aren't great, and it's good to share that life isn't always perfect and that we all do go through it sometimes. And if you have been feeling the way I have been feeling, it's okay. And you have, I think the most important and like amazing thing about this is like, now that I have realized how I've been feeling, I have a duty to myself to change my situation and my reality, and no one else is going to do that for me. So I need to put in the work and make the steps happen. Like I need to do everything I need to do to make what I know needs to happen. And no one else has that responsibility but me, which is terrifying, but it's also empowering because it's like, okay, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are we going to fix this? How are we going to change this? What can we do? And of course, I'm lucky that I don't have crazy responsibilities. I don't have kids. I don't have a relationship. I don't have property. Like I don't, you know, I'm not stuck in a lease. And I'm fortunate. So like if I don't make the steps to do that, like how can I be an example? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's to more vlogs every single week in October. And yeah, I'm excited to be back on your screens, in your YouTube subscription box. YouTube has demonetized me, so I need to figure that out this month. But if you could please like and comment on the video, so at least that would help the channel, because we're demonetized at the moment, so we're making no YouTube money. Not that it was very big in the first place, but it was something. But I'm sure it will sort itself out. I'll get my monetization back and everything will work out. So I'm gonna go. I will see you in the next video. Hasta la vista. I love you all so much, and I appreciate you all so much, and like thank you for being patient, because I know my vlog situation has not been good the last 6 months, and that was not my intention for 2023. Like my intention for 2023 was to really step it up with my YouTube channel, and I just feel like I have not been doing that, but I'm going to try to do that more now, because making YouTube videos makes me so happy, and it's my safe space on the internet. It's my favorite place on the internet, no matter TikTok live, TikTok, Instagram stories. No, YouTube is my home on the internet, and YouTube is like one of my whys. I love YouTube and I love watching YouTube videos. So okay, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.